Is this the epic finale of the number 6 versus Koichi fight? Is this finally where we get the big climax of the series we've all been waiting for? No, but we're still gonna have fun with it. Welcome everyone, it is Dylan from Class 1A bringing you another My Hero Academia Vigilantes chapter breakdown. This week we have chapter 120. Yes, 120, we're finally there. I can't believe we have this many chapters in this series already, but chapter 120, rooting for you. Once again, we kick off the chapter in the number 6 versus Crawler fight. All for One is completely enthralled in the fight. The exchange of blows and power seem to be coming from someplace, but where? Now what All for One doesn't know is heroes can go past their limit. You're able to push beyond that barrier by going plus ultra. Cause this man who is absolutely obsessed with gathering quirks and just collecting as many powerful quirks as possible doesn't understand when you stay and you live with your one quirk for a really long time and you have ultimate willpower, you're able to push through that barrier and go plus ultra. And I think this really just shows how All for One thinks of people. He just thinks of people with non-powerful quirks as these lowly beings who can never really rise to the occasion. And now what I think is really interesting is that the League of Villains, most of them will go through quirk evolutions at some point in just a couple years time from this. And he also calls the shining light that we always see with Deku whenever he does like his, one for all kind of punch. He talks about that being the singularity, which I think is something interesting that we had floating around in the main series, but maybe wasn't brought together like this before, of where, yeah, there's something inherent to All for One and One for All and the light that we always see being singularity. There's something there. We don't know what it is yet, but like, it's something there that's going to feed into the main series. And he also kind of talks to Knuckle Duster. Okay, so big implications here. Like, to say the least that he can talk to Knuckle Duster or he heard him. Okay, so the situation is that All for One is a vestige in Six's mind that he created through probably one of his many quirks that he was able to seal himself in there by having Six think that he's actually O'Clock, but he's not really O'Clock in his mind. He's actually All for One, but he's just kind of using a disguise in vestige form. But yeah, so that vestige is able to interact somehow with Knuckle Duster, who is on the brink of death. So he's more of like a spirit instead of like a quirk vestige. So I don't know. There's something really weird here. There's something strange going on. I don't know what it is, but it's insane. And like, instead of trying to break down and like actually get real conspiracy mode on trying to think of why this is happening, what are the implications, what does this mean, I don't think we have enough information for that. So honestly, we're just gonna call it quirk magic and leave it at that. The two continue to exchange shots at each other until Koichi hears something. His friends, not just the Naruhata crew though, but tons of civilians coming out of hiding to root on their hometown hero, the Crawler. Okay, everything about this scene is amazing. I just love this so much. I just finally love this like coming together of like all of his friends and all of his hometown heroes. Even just calling him the Crawler, like, oh, it just hits me right in the heart that like, yes, this is the end. This is the climax that we've really been waiting for, of like everyone recognizing the Crawler as a hero. Like, he is a hero, he isn't a vigilante. The license be damned, he is a hero. And then of course this is the moment that friendship and love will win in the day, right? And just when the crowd starts to get a little bit too large, the newscopter tries to tell everyone to disperse when they are knocked out of the sky. Though they are too far away for the Crawler to catch, help has arrived. Because we end the chapter with Eraserhead, Best Genius, Ingenium, and Edshot saving the news crew and joining the battle. Yes, he has held on long enough. Now, the real question is, will they be able to clean up the fight so that the Crawler can live after this? So I know this was a bit of a shorter chapter where not a lot happened, but I think we got to set up for something really amazing next chapter. Obviously, all the heroes showing up, being able to really drive this fight to its conclusion is the most important bit. But I also think there is a little bit going on with All for One. The implications behind the quirk singularity being directly tied with All for One and One for All and that light that we always see around Deku has like really big implications for the main series that like we can't quite fully piece together, but just like mark it down, like put a pin in it, because that is going to be really important for the end of the main series. But what can we really expect next from here? Obviously we're going to get the conclusion to the fight. No, I promise this time, really, I promise that we're going to get the end of this fight. Like, there's no way they can drag it on for like 10 more chapters with the hero showing up, right? right? Please tell me it's not going to keep going on. But after they wrap up the fight, I think the real question is going to be, will the crawler make it out alive or not? Because I think that is like what everything is hinging on, of like, we know where the story really is going. We know how it's going to end from here, obviously. It's just those little bits of like, will Koichi live? Will he survive? Like, is he going to be reunited with Pop? I mean, I think that's the question we're really wondering here. But regardless of what happens, Koichi better have the final punch here. We better get like one final big crawler attack just to close out of this fight, because he deserves it. He deserves it because he is the hero that saved the day here. Regardless, I'm still absolutely loving this series. I don't know, just Vigilantes has been such an awesome mainstay in my manga rotation. Like, I know it's every 2 weeks and it feels like it's going on a really long time, but it is just so damn good. But if you want to finish out the journey with us, make sure you're subscribed to Class 1A and join in the conversation. We have other videos as well. If you check out this video right here, we're actually talking about the current series of My Hero Academia, the manga. Check that out, join in the conversation there, because honestly, things are going side by side so well that you want to be caught up with the main series as well. So check that out, and I will see you all next class.